All right, Reggie, the Front Row Report. We're here. It is finally September already, about halfway through, and I've got Michael Sweet from Stryper. And man, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It's always a good one.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. So we appreciate it, and it's my pleasure to be here with you, man.
Awesome, man. We got the new album coming out. It's 2 months away, and if I'm eager and can't wait, I can't imagine how eager and anxious you are to get this album out. It's outstanding.
That's the worst part about releasing a record for the guys in the band, and that is the anticipation and the wait. And being patient, it's hard not to hit that button to tweet or Facebook a song sample. I've done it before, and I've got my wrist slapped by the label, so I made promises this time around. But this is I know this is saying a lot, but this is my opinion. This is our best record to date. And I know when you go back and, compare it to Hell with the Devil and Against the Law and records that people love, that's really saying a lot. But I really believe that it is. And I'm very anxious and excited for people to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's really hard to, especially for you as an artist, to say this is our best record when you have a catalog that spans as far back and, is as extensive as your guys' is and is as good and strong as it is. But for me personally, just with the opening track itself, it's very, very close to Hell with the Devil. I won't see it as like To Hell with the Devil, like, continued in a lot of ways, because it's as close to as you can get to that,
It really is, and I think in the quality sense, but also in the quantity sense, you kind of get it all on this record, and everything that everybody expects or wants, they get on this record, and then I think it holds its own to Hell with the Devil, which was our biggest selling record, and I think there's a reason for that. I think it was our best record, and this is a great follow-up. Had this record come out after To Hell with the Devil, nothing against In God We Trust, but I think this record would have outsold To Hell with the Devil. In God We Trust did not, and I just think it's a great record. And I'm excited to see what it does in 2013 and see if it's been a lot of new fans.
Yeah, it's really like if To Hell with the Devil would have been recorded today, it would have been no hell to pay, I think.
Exactly.
It's just, I was just, a lot of times when a band and artist says, this is our best record, or it's similar to this one, a lot of times it's not even close to that. It's just promotion. But this time around, you guys backed it up completely. It was just really good to see. It was completely blown.
I know. It's one of those things when a record comes out, every artist and every member of the band is always raving about it, and rightfully so. They're excited and stuff, but they're saying it's their best, and I've done that many times. But, I really do believe that we do have the goods to back it up, and I think anybody, and I say this respectfully, anybody with ears will be able to hear that what I'm saying is 100% accurate. It really is our best record. It's not our best record. If you don't agree with that, it's certainly one of our best records. And it is certainly, at bare minimum, the best thing we've done since we disbanded back in 1992.
Yeah, it's hard for me to rank Stryper's albums, because for me, I grew up listening to Stryper. I think my dad had me listening to Stryper the second I was born. I think he had Stryper playing. It was every day. Grew up on Stryper.
Wow, man! Now were they putting yellow and black diapers on you as well?
He might have been. I think I had, the Stryper logo T-shirt. My mom probably had to talk him out of the yellow and black diapers. But yeah, I mean, I remember it was Petra and Stryper all the time. It was a great musical childhood. It was really good. And then my mom would play the Carpenters, and rarely, really, really different. But
well, tell your mom that I play the Carpenters too.
Oh, shit. I think she'll be happy to hear.
And I love, my musical range is very wide, and I grew up on Oh my gosh, Bread,
Nice.
Johnny Osmond, Creedence Clearwater Revival,
Nice.
Elvis Presley. I mean, I grew up on so many different bands and styles, so I love that stuff too.
It's not bad. It's different than the stuff my dad plays, but still not bad. But speaking of different, I did not expect the Jesus is Just All Right cover. You guys did a great cover of that song on this record. How did you guys?
Yeah.
What led you guys to cover that song? There's a lot of songs.
Well, you know, we've always kind of we love doing covers, and the reason why is because it's an opportunity for us to pay respect to that song and the writer. And songs and writers and bands that influenced us. That's obviously why we did the covering. But it's why we did Earth, Wind, and Fire, Shining Star. You know, we did a cover of that song because we loved Earth, Wind, and Fire and respected them. And believe it or not, growing up, listened to them and really dug them. So we thought it would be cool to kind of take the challenge and do not just a typical rock cover that, you know, would be, you know, easily expected, but do a song that nobody would really expect us to do, and that's why we did Shining Star by Earth, Wind & Fire. When we did it, people are like, oh, wow, what's this? Well, same thing with Jesus Is Just All Right. Although it's been covered by Doobie Brothers and DC Talk and a number of other bands, it was a challenge for us to do something a little more, I don't want to say funky, but riff-oriented, and, you know, it has a tempo breakdowns and tempo changes, and it's very unusual in terms of the style of songs you might expect Stryper to do. So that's why we did it. I
always love when a band covers a song that is just a complete curveball. You wouldn't expect them to cover. It's not even from their, I hate genres, but it's not from the type of music that they play. You know, I mean, Double Driver just covered "Sail" by AWOL Nation. That's a pop song. I mean, it's really cool when a band can reinvent a song that's just completely from a different area of music. It's really cool. And
it is, and hopefully you do it justice. I mean, so many times, unfortunately, you hear a band cover something, and you got to wonder if it was almost done in a comical sense. Like, are they poking fun at it and purposely trying to ruin it? We obviously weren't doing that, but Jesus Just All Right. I mean, we wanted to really rock it. And hopefully we did, and hopefully people will dig it. I think they will.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good version of the song. I think, you know, you guys did a great job on it, and yeah, and like you said, you guys have always done covers with Shining Star, and then the covering, and then with the Boston cover on Murder by Pride, and it's nothing new, and so it's really good. It's cool to see that continuing to happen. So,
well, I'm glad you like it, man. I'm glad to hear it.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys have been in it seems like you guys have been in the studio for all of 2013 doing the covering, and then No More Hell to Pay. Are you guys just ready to be done with the studio? Because you did the solo album too that'll be coming out. So you've been in the studio even more. Are you guys just ready to be out of the studio for a while and just ready to hit the road? And
you know, I got to tell you, man, the truth. I love the road. I love meeting people. But I got to say that I love the studio equally as much, maybe even more so, because I'm a songwriter and a producer, and you know, I feel right at home in the studio. I could literally live in the studio.
Wow.
Probably year round, and be totally happy with myself and where I'm at in my environment in the studio. And you know, I'm excited because there's a lot of new stuff. There's the solo record. I'm getting ready to go in and do another record. Stryper's doing a live record coming up in just a few months. And then I'm doing a George Lynch record, and that's going to be fun. That happens in February. So there's just a lot of stuff around the corner, and I'll be in the studio, you know, for a lot of time.
Now, with the Lynch record, is that TNN or is that just George Lynch?
It's George Lynch, myself, Brian Tishy, who plays with Foreigner and Whitesnake, the drummer, and a guy by the name of James Lomenzo, who played in White Lion and went on to play with Ozzy Osbourne and Megadeth and a bunch of other bands.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I saw the rumor about the Michael Sweet TNN tour album a while back, and so when you mentioned that, I was just curious about that. So.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen at some point. But unfortunately, I think the cart was put before the horse on that, and people started talking about it in interviews and whatnot. And I don't think it's going to happen this year because I haven't heard anything about it. But I do know that there is going to be a TNN tour at some point, and I will hopefully be a part of it. And the George Lynch project is a no-brainer. That's happening. That's contracted. It'll be released on Frontiers next year.
Very cool.
Don't have a name for it yet, but that's going to be rocking. It's going to be very, very happening.
Awesome. With you got not only the solo album, you got the book that everyone's been talking about for a while. Where are we at with the autobiography? Is that close to being released? And what we didn't get a chance to talk about that a whole lot last time, but
well, again, speaking of the cart before the horse, I mean, what happened with that is we really had no idea how long the process was. Mine is an unusually long process for my book because it's my first time, and it's gone through the hands of 3 editors, if you include me, 4. It's been rewritten and tweaked and revised and this and that. And it's just taken forever, and that's been the holdup. It is. I can sit here and tell you on the phone that it is officially finished in terms of editing, and now we have to secure a publishing deal for it to be published, and that won't be difficult at all. That really won't take that. We've already got 2 or 3 different interested companies, and that'll be easy. But once that's done, that's when a date will be set for the book and the record simultaneously to come out. And realistically speaking, we're looking at next year, probably the late first quarter or early second quarter of next year. That's probably a very realistic time frame.
Okay, cool. I always love when an artist or band, they'll release an autobiography, then they release the album to go along with it. That's always really cool when that happens. I love that. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, man. Well, I tell you, I'm excited. Really super excited about that. I can't wait for people to read the book. It's a really open, no pun intended, open chapter of my life. And then it's called Honestly, and it is a very honest book. There's no punches held. I'm not throwing people under the bus, but I am just telling my story, my life, what's happened in my life, ups and downs, good and bad. And some of it is shocking. Some of it is, what people might expect to hear from me, rather shocking, and they might be surprised. And I'm hoping that it helps people. I'm hoping that it encourages people, and people that might be going through the same thing or went through the same thing, that it'll give them a light at the end of the tunnel and make them believe and know that it's all going to be okay.
Awesome. Yeah, that's exciting for me, to know that it's happening, and to know that, to hear you say that itself, because music fans, and especially, just have so many things that, when they hear their favorite artist and band, talking about their lives and what they've gone through, they can connect with it so much, and it just means the world to them. And that's going to be really cool to see,
Absolutely. And I'm counting the days for that too. And the thing I do feel bad about is kind of going live with that, telling people it's coming out, a year ago. And it's, a year has passed. I'm sitting here just thinking to myself, my gosh, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And I really think it was for a reason. And I think when all is said and done, good things come to those who wait. I think that the patient ones and the people who have been waiting, it's going to be that much better. So that's what thrills me.
Now, going back to No More Hell to Pay, when the record comes out, it's going to be a CD-DVD combo, which is cool. As far as I know, is one of the first times you guys have done the CD-DVD, combo together with a release. So what?
Well, here's what it'll contain. There'll be a CD DVD combo, which will have obviously the 12 songs audio, and then it'll have the 2 music videos, which is to a song called "No More Hell to Pay," and with the band, and then another song, a video we shot in Vegas, a song called "Sympathy," and then it'll also have a 20-ish minute documentary involved and included. So. And then there's also going to be just an audio version, and then there's also going to be a vinyl version, which is what I'm really, really pumped about, because I think this is, if ever there was a cover in terms of artwork that was tailor-made for vinyl, it's this one.
Yes. It reminds me of the Angel cover from To Hell with the Devil a lot, but a very modern version of it.
It does me too. It does me too, and it's the colors are beautiful. I mean, the artwork and the job that Stannis Decker did is just phenomenal, and he just hit it out of the park.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing like Stryper on vinyl. It just sounds awesome. And so
absolutely.
Lyrically, there's some really, really cool, great subjects that you guys touch on with this record. What were some of the topics you guys, you really felt like, we got to talk about this. We need to, this is what this album is gonna be. What were some of those when you guys sat down to write this?
Well, I mean, a repeating theme of the record is really, Revelation. And the song Revelation, the song Marching into Battle, the song Legacy, in terms of things to come, the future, and that's why I drew right from the book of Revelation for Marching into Battle and the song Revelation. And, it's not to make anyone fear themselves or their lives and say, oh my God, but yet at the same time, it kind of is. And I know that's contradictory, but what I mean by that is, I think so often we kind of take our lives for granted. We get caught up in our day-to-day routine that we don't think about the future.
Right.
We don't think about, okay, well, where are we going when we go? I don't want to go to hell. I think we all want to go to heaven. Those of us who believe there is a heaven. And, there's only one way to get there. If you believe that, then you have to believe what the Bible says about the only way into heaven. So it's just kind of a warning. This record is kind of a warning to all of us to, remind us that, look, we can't forget that. We need to make sure our lives are in check and in order, and let's keep them that way so that when that day comes, we're ready to go. And that's really the gist of the record for the most part.
Right, and for those who, because with Stryper, it's cool because you've got a Christian fan base and you've got a mainstream non-Christian fan base as well. But for the fans who listen to it that are Christians, it's almost like a battle cry album in a lot of ways. Some of them are just like, you can close your eyes and it's like, if I was marching into battle, I could be playing this and it would just get you pumped up and ready to go. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, that song,
anthem.
Yeah, that song, literally, as you said, you could almost close your eyes and envision, the Battle of Armageddon. We're marching into battle and we're going to war. I mean, that's the perfect song. And it's like, okay, I'm ready, man. I don't have any doubt or fear. Let's go kick some butt. And that's the song right there, man. Perfectly. It says it all so well.
Absolutely. And Michael, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me again today. It's been awesome. It's always been good to talk to you, and thank you so much.
Oh man, well thank you, and thank you for supporting us and always taking the time to talk to us and your desire to talk to us, and we appreciate it. We wouldn't be here, we couldn't do this without you and the listeners out there and people reading and listening, and God bless you, man. Thank you for everything.